originally, you were part of Cash Money Click.
Yeah.
Was Cash Money Click signed or no?
Yeah, we had a deal with TVT Records.
With TVT.
Yeah, with Mike Geronimo and
Right.
you know, Gotti. He put that whole thing together over there. TVT could have been one of the biggest labels right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you why. When I went over to TVT, they already had Mike Geronimo, which, you know, wasn't, you know, he was, you know, up and coming and doing his thing. He was, you know, hot out there in the marketplace. But they also had a group, a young fledgling group called 9 Inch Nails.
Right.
They also had the chance to sign a new up and coming artist named Snoop Dogg, because Dr. Dre brought the Chronic album, when he was shopping the album and bringing it to different labels, he brought it to TVT first. And then, you know, he had a young artist, you know, that was with a group by the name of Ja Rule that turned out to be pretty successful himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then Irv also brought him DMX and Jay-Z. So I'm just saying, when I look back on it, that label could have been humongous. It could have been a big rap label. But he didn't like the Chronic. He didn't get it. He didn't get DMX and Jay-Z. He fucked over 9 Inch Nails. Fucked me over. And the rest is history.
What led to your deal at Def Jam, your solo deal?
The situation with TVT, it wasn't right. But that wasn't what really broke the camel's back. It was, so when we got our deal from TVT, it wasn't a big deal. We may have got like, I don't know, maybe like, I want to say like 10, 15 grand or some shit like that.
Right.
To split between the three of us.
Right.
So we, you know, those are record deals back in the days. That's just kind of how it was. They were bullshit deals. But anyway, so we had an idea. We took the money. We was like, all right, this is not a lot of money, but if we flip the money and buy some drugs, we can turn it into some real money.
Right.
So that was our plan. So we flipped the money, bought some drugs, and, you know, was on our way, baby. You know what I'm saying? We was on our way to being rappers /
drug dealers.
Right. And in the process of that, my man Chris Black, that was with the group, he got locked up. Mm-hmm. And he did 5 years. And that kind of deterred everything, because TVT wasn't willing to go forward with just me and O in the group as members without Black. And so after that, I kind of wanted off the label. I wanted, you know, out of that situation. I'm like, well, do you expect me to just sit around for 5 years
yeah,
and not do anything? So that was kind of the situation. So, you know, me and Gotti kind of started, you know, working on some solo stuff, doing some stuff, you know. I met Foxy Brown. Yeah, this is fun. I met Foxy Brown at a club called Q Club in Queens. Mm-hmm. And Jay and Foxy was performing Ain't No Nigga that night. Mm-hmm. And it was my birthday. And I was having like a semi-party there, you know, and I was having a little birthday party there. Mm-hmm. And it, you know, of course it was gonna be a great night because Jay and Foxy was performing, so it was gonna be a good night for me to go there and have my party, and, you know, all my homies was there, and they was showing me a lot of love, you know, sending me over bottles and shit. And it was celebrate my birthday, and yo, it was Ja's birthday, you know. So Foxy wanted to know who the fuck was the dude getting all the love that obviously nobody knew, but but the people in the circle. And then me and Foxy ended up kicking it, talking, and then I told her, I make music too, I'm trying to get my thing going and blah blah blah. So we had a good conversation. We spoke about music, we exchanged numbers, and me and Foxy became cool. Me and Gotti, we used to go to different studios while we were working on some of these solo records that I was doing. And you remember the box at the time?
Yeah. Video music box.
Not video music box.
No, wait.
The box.
The box, or you could order videos.
Right. So for all y'all out there that might not know, there was a station called The Box back in the days. So you could call up and it was like 99 cents. Yeah. You could order a video of your choice and
plays for everybody on TV.
Plays for everybody on TV.
Yeah.
So Gotti had this great idea. He said, listen, the hottest record right now is Meth and Mary, You're All I Need. Mm-hmm. Every time that fucking video plays, we're gonna call in, you'll get the Fortune video. So we would go to studios, book studio time, 8-10 hour blocks of studio time. And while we're there, we record and we doing. Every time You're All I Need came on, you know what I'm saying? Get the Fortune. Get the Fortune. So the idea was people would be watching fucking You're All I Need because it was the hottest record. Maybe they wouldn't change the channel right after and they would see
Ja Rule.
And Cash Money Click would get the Fortune. So our idea worked. And the legend has it, they were having a big meeting up at Def Jam. Jam Master Jay was meeting with Lyor and Russell and a lot of the heads over in the Def Jam office, and they were sitting in the war room and marveling over their Meth and Mary video. And right after the Meth and Mary video goes off, this little grainy black and white video comes on and shit. And it's Ja Rule. And Jam Master Jay stood up in the meeting and said, that little nigga right there is gonna be a star. And from that moment, Lyor was intrigued. Okay, who's the little nigga? Who are these guys? Let's find them. So Lyor set off to find Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, Cash Money Click. He set out to find our situation and see what was going on with our situation. In the meantime, me and Foxy are cool. We're speaking on the phone from time to time. She calls me one day. She's like, Ja, you never believe this. Guess who was asking about you today? And I'm like, who? She's like, Lyor. He said, Lyor called me in the office today and said, I'm looking to sign some new groups to Def Jam. He said, I'm looking at these guys, Lord Tariq and Peter Guns and these other dudes, Cash Money Click. And she was like, oh yeah, Cash Money Click, I know them. I call Gotti, I tell him this, I said, yo, Gotti, I said, yo, Lyor wants to sign us. You know how once the story gets from here to here, it becomes a whole different thing. Lyor's looking to, he wants to sign us, Gotti. Call him, let's find him, he wants to sign us. So Gotti's like, he's like, where did you hear this from? I'm like, yo, Foxy told me. He's like, all right, let me call Jay, let me see if there's any validity to this. He calls Jay, Jay makes his calls or whatever.
Jay-Z,
yeah, he makes his calls or whatever. He's like, yo, I'm not really in with Def Jam like that, but I'm hearing that, there's some truth to the story. So, long story short, Lyor finds us. He sets up a meeting for us to come meet him. We go to meet Lyor, and, in the meeting, Lyor is a very shrewd businessman. He looks at me and Gotti and my man O, and he says, yo, I only want the little guy. He said, I love Gotti's spirit too. He said, I like Gotti's spirit. So, Gotti was, when Gotti loves something, he's passionate about something, he's a bulldog. And he was in there and he was telling the story of why we're going to be successful and how the Ja's going to take over the game. And Lyor loved his energy and hired Gotti as an A&R for Def Jam.
What was your man saying at this time?
That was a difficult thing because it was like bittersweet. It was like, yes, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I had a conversation with O, and he was basically like, listen, man, we however we do it, we got to do it. So
That's dope.
yeah, so I went and took the deal over at Def Jam. I couldn't get out of my deal with TVT at first. That was a hard thing. So in the meantime of that, Lyor was like, well, what the fuck, we're gonna do? We can't get Ja right now. Gotti said, I got another guy. Trust me, you're gonna love this guy too. I got another guy. He's hot. I'll bring him to you, and whatever. He brought him DMX.